before we get into the conversation, I just want to stop a moment and look at the challenge that we face today. In our organizations, we have rapidly growing and evolving technologies. Businesses are relying on them more and more for global operations. However, this reliance creates complexities, weaknesses, and vulnerabilities. With the remote workforces requiring constant access, the need to protect against cyber threats is paramount. One missed authentication step can cripple your whole entire business. So let's go ahead and explore some of the thoughts that I have on how we can address risks in our organizations in the ever-changing landscape that we see today. When we look at our landscape today, especially in regards to risk management, let's face it, it breaks down to risk management is the ability to determine the potential harm and to take the appropriate steps to address it. But in order to do that well, we need to have two things. We need to have visibility and we need to have control of actions. In 2024, we're challenged with both of those. Some by design to improve productivity and cost reduction. And of course, there's a mirage of other things that factor into that. But let's take a look at what exactly I mean. I'm going to take this into a two-pronged discussion point. The first is in regards to business. When we look at businesses in 2024, they, of course, are looking at it to balance the cost of risks versus operations, of course. And this is nothing new, but what is new is that we are coming out of a post-pandemic world, and a lot of our workforce is really focused on the work-life balance. And of course, that means a lot of remote work. What, of course, does that mean? That means that possibly we're seeing a lot more cloud adoption or SaaS in our environments. And with that comes the challenge of having little control and or visibility. In addition to that, we also see the expanded use of new technologies, again, through SaaS. SaaS is rapidly evolving. We have instances of folks going out and getting their own technology solutions through any cloud service you can imagine. And then, of course, there's the whole topic, which everybody is talking about right now, and that's AI. So both of those, of course, from the business perspective, are not necessarily going to raise eyebrows because there is valid reason for both of those new and exciting technology solutions when we look at it from a business perspective, and that's to increase operation efficiency and, of course, reduce cost of technology. But what they don't do is really look at it from the cost-benefit analysis from a risk perspective. Unless, of course, you have a really good CISO to get in there and have those conversations. So let's change that now. So now that we have that picture from a business perspective, let's talk about risks and the challenges thereof in 2024 from a technology perspective. Again, with the rapid adoption of especially those two sectors, if you will, or tech stacks being AI or the SaaS/cloud adoption, the complexity of our environments has grown exponentially. And we do that in an attempt to make our, in an attempt to make our environments less complex, of course, what we do is try to, go with a one-stop solution. And what I mean by that is looking at, for example, moving everything we can to like Microsoft. We use Microsoft M365 and all the tool sets that are available through that. They have an unbelievable security suite, really complex, but pretty comprehensive. And you could swap out that name, Microsoft, for pick any of the other major cloud providers, whether it's AWS, whether it's Google, or whatever have you. But The risk in doing that, I think we really need to stop and realize, is that we don't have that resiliency baked in because, of course, it's in the cloud. We trust these, large providers that they have redundancy baked in and resiliency baked in, but do they? I think we recently learned a valuable lesson with CrowdStrike, I'll say it. Not that I am pointing fingers. It's only a matter of time that each and every one of us are in that same position. So, I think, however, the lesson learned from that is to really look at your architecture of your environment and really understand where the basic concepts of security and protection come from. And that includes resiliency, or making sure that you have alternative solutions or ways out of the mess, if you will.